Time for sound design. In today's video, I'm going to use the plus pedal to make this. So what you just heard is a soundscape that consists of 4 different layers, and each layer is made with this pedal. And this pedal from Gamechanger Audio is a free sustain pedal, or a micro looper you could say. And basically what it does is that it sustains incoming audio. So here on the back you have an input for audio and an output, and when you press down this forged metal pedal, it samples the audio, a very small fragment, and loops it. This is the perfect pedal for creating soundscapes and ambient tones from any kind of audio input. And what I did for this video, I used sounds from Ableton, sent them out of my sound card into the pedal and back into Ableton. I'll show you the routing. You see my sound card, I have a Focusrite 18i20. I send the audio to the output number 5 into the pedal, and from the pedal into input number 1 of my sound card. So in Ableton it looks like this. I have here the 909 Crash, which is the first sample I used for the first layer of the soundscape, and it sounds like this. And then sending that to the pedal and holding down the pedal, I created this. So as you can hear, it takes a little bit of that crash sound and kind of repeats it. And then with the effects that I added to this in Ableton, it sounds like this. Then for the second layer of the soundscape, I used the analog synth in Ableton, and it sounds like this. Then going through the plus pedal, it sounds like this. So again, you can hear that sort of repeating point a little bit with some effects. So I added some vibrato, redux, an EQ, and a tremolo. I wanted to create a melody, so I added this into a simpler and copied the same effects, so then it sounds like this. So now you can create melodies with it. The third layer of the soundscape was the 808 Congas, and they sound like this. So it's just 4 high Congas after each other. Putting that through the plus pedal, you create originally this. Then I pitched that up 1 octave. And added a whole bunch of effects. So first an hybrid reverb, an LFO to modulate the dry wet of the reverb, an EQ, and an autopen. So the reverb really creates a lot of ambient and stereo image. And then the fourth layer of the soundscape, which is a smaller sound that you only hear a few times. And that's actually a voice recording where I say, "Time for sound design." So putting that sample through the plus pedal, I got this. And then I loaded that sustained sample into a simpler, and that sounded like this. So I play it higher up the octave. And then with some effects, so a low cut, 2 delays. And the delays have a lot of feedback. This one is 95 and this one is 87. So as you can hear, this pedal can really create a lot of textures in a very easy way. And I will show you now how to do that. I will now create a texture from scratch from a piano. So I loaded up the Numa plugin from Studio Logic. I will link down in the description to this plugin. So let's put in a G major chord. Then I put the external out to number 5. And then here on a separate audio track, I have incoming audio on track number 1 or input number 1. So what you now hear is the piano going out of the sound card into the pedal, back into the sound card. And when I would hold down the pedal now, it will sustain. So now it's sustaining the note. I didn't press down immediately at the beginning of the piano, but somewhere around after maybe half a bar. I did that because I didn't want to get the attack portion of the piano. And now I can record this back into Ableton, so let's do that. So now I can create a 4-bar loop from this. So now I have a sustained G major chord. So this is the G major chord, G, B, D on this track. And I can pitch it down, for instance, 1 octave. That's pretty nice. Maybe add a little bit of effects. So I'm gonna add an auto pan. Maybe a filter. I'll add an LFO to modulate the filter frequency. A bit slower. Just to create a little bit of variation. And this is a very nice background kind of pad. If you want to roughen it up, maybe a redux or a distortion. Let's try that. Maybe a pedal. Put a dry wet on like, say 60. And if we increase the gain of the overdrive, just a little is enough. Let's add another LFO here to do this in a very subtle way. So as you can hear, just having a few of those layers together from different instruments, you can easily create a soundscape. Adding some modulation, in this case on the gain of the overdrive and the filter frequency of the filter, creates some movement, because what comes out of the plus pedal is a very static, sustained sound. That's it for this video. Don't forget to check out my sample library over on Gumroad, 50 sampled instruments for Ableton. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and see you in the next one.